play my intro. Now it's time for the Robb Johnson Sports Show, presented by Robb Johnson Media and the Legacy Maker Sports Network. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Robb Johnson Sports Show, presented by the Legacy Maker Sports Network and the Robb Johnson Media. Now, just want to tell you guys real quick, coming on and doing these shows are not easy. A lot of people come on doing these shows, got stuff going on, we got things happening in our lives, etc. So, just want to tell you guys, it's not easy doing these shows. So, please respect the host. Please respect the host. Also, make sure that you are commenting. Make sure that you are subscribing. Make sure that you are sharing the content as we come on here. And we do work. You know, it's not easy coming on here talking sports. Talking sports is not easy. Talking anything, having the ability to come onto a platform and talk is not easy. So again, I'd like to welcome you all to the Robb Johnson Sports Show, presented by Legacy Maker Sports Network and Robb Johnson Media. Now, let's get into the dynamics. Let's get into what's fun. Let's talk about NBA free agency. So it is being reported that multiple teams in the National Basketball Association do not see LeBron James as an asset, meaning that to trade for LeBron James, they don't see that as a priority, that LeBron James is not the type of person that they want to trade for. I get it. I understand that because he is approaching the age of 41. We understand that he is approaching that age. We also understand that the dynamics of the NBA have really changed over the years. So this is going to be a team for the Lakers. It's going to be a Luka Doncic team. Now, with saying that, we're not going to spend all day on LeBron and Luka. You know, we're going to be the anti-ESPN. We're not going to be talking about them all day. Let's talk about some of the top free agents who are going to be on the trading blocks. Let's look at Miles Turner. I'm going off the list here who are some of the top free agents in the NBA right now. Miles Turner is expected that the Indiana Pacers will bring him back. There's no worry there in Indiana. There's a great chance they're bringing him back. Jonathan Kuminga. Now, Kuminga, for me, is one of the more interesting spots as I read here to you, as I'm on CBS Sports. By the way, CBS Sports is my source here. Reading guys what they're saying. Potentially one of the biggest swing pieces of the offseason. Kuminga, a career warrior to date, is an athlete with potential all-star scoring chops. A team like Brooklyn could offer him somewhere north of $30 million annually and force the Warriors to match or let him walk for nothing. Or he could be a piece of Golden State uses in a sign and trade. If you are the Golden State Warriors, okay, you understand that the fact that you have Steph Curry, you have Jimmy Butler, you have Draymond Green. These players are getting older. Jonathan Kuminga is either the future or either you're going to make a trade. Now, let me say this, and I'll bring LeBron James into this. Do you think that the Los Angeles Lakers would make that move? There have been rumors going on for years now that LeBron James wants to play in Golden State. Would the Golden State Warriors and Lakers make that trade, Kuminga for LeBron and probably some picks? I don't think it would happen. I don't look at it as realistic, but in today's NBA, where you just had Luka Doncic traded from the Dallas Mavericks to the Los Angeles Lakers, by the way, two teams that have been rivals in the past, two teams that are in the Western Conference, as I get you guys looking at the Robb Johnson Media Championship belt behind the Robb Johnson Media. I don't think that would happen, but I do think that let's think about it for a second, okay? You got, and would it work? It could, it couldn't. We'll see. We I think the most important thing is people would think you'd have LeBron and Steph playing on the same team. That's what people would want. But as far as a fit, I don't think that it will work. So the way that I look at it, folks, is this. Kuminga is a piece you have to bring back if you're the Warriors. And if you do bring him back and you want, let's say you're mid-season, and let's say you think that you are close. Because let's be honest here. The Golden State Warriors, if Steph Curry had not gotten hurt, are in the Western Conference Finals. Let's be clear. As much as I like Minnesota, as much as I think the Minnesota Timberwolves are a good basketball team, Steph Curry does not get hurt. The Golden State Warriors are beating the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they are going to the Western Conference Finals. Let's just be very honest about that. So if you are the Golden State Warriors with Kuminga, big decision here, but for sure, you do not want Jonathan Kuminga to walk for free. And let me say that again. You do not want Jonathan Kuminga to walk free. Now, before we get into our next story, let you guys check out Game Time 365 Sports with my guy Larry Patterson. Make sure you check him out. Check out Game Time 365 Sports on the Game Time Sports Network. Larry Patterson bringing the heat to you every single time. Bringing the heat to you, ladies and gentlemen, every single time. Larry Patterson. Let me play that for you guys one more time. Make sure you guys know what I'm talking about. Check out Game Time 365 Sports on the Game Time Sports Network. Larry Patterson bringing the heat to you every single time. Now, let me say this. If you're the Golden State Warriors fans, let's say somehow, some way you do lose Jonathan Kuminga for nothing, you let him walk for nothing, this is gonna be the response from Golden State Warriors fans. Yeah, and that should be your response because he is a young player under the age of 25. How do you let this guy get out the door? How do you let him get out the door for nothing? And if you're the Golden State Warriors, that, ladies and gentlemen, just cannot happen. So, next we have Josh Giddey, unrestricted free agent for Chicago Bulls. Let me read this to you. Chicago has a good bet to match any offer Giddey might get on the open market. He absolutely exploded over the final 2 months of the season as a nightly triple threat, high-end scorer with a sudden, competent three-point shot and the same passing skills he's always had. Giddey is not the same player off the ball. If you're the Bulls, you let him walk. I'm not a fan of Josh Giddey. I mean, just let him walk. I mean, he's not going to change anything for you. He's not going to change anything. It just is what it is. I'm not a fan of him. Never will be a fan of him. It just is what it is. Nikolai Alexander Walker. This is actually, he only averages about 9 points a game for Minnesota, but he's a big piece, especially what they did in the playoffs. And in line with the major pay bump this summer, which the Wolves likely won't be able to give him without going past the second apron after re-signing Julius Randle and Niles Reed to a combined $225 million in contracts. Serious defender who can knock down threes and can make some plays off the dribble will be in high demand in a pretty bare market. Walker is the type of player I think that, again, Brooklyn could use. I think that there are a few teams that could use him. But his defensive prowess, what he does on the offensive end, knocking down his threes when he's knocking them down, is very important, I believe. So I am a actual huge fan of this player, and I think that what he can do is he can do a lot of good things for the Golden State. For a team like the Minnesota Timberwolves, or let's say if he moves on. So very important, very good player. So I really do like his ability to play basketball, and I think that he would be a good addition for some other team. Now, this is the wild card. This is the big time wild card. That being DeAndre Ayton. 14 points a game, 10 rebounds, almost a block a game. All right, here's the problem if you're DeAndre Ayton. You have league executives who say that you're not focused. You have league executives that say that you're not focused on basketball. You had issues last year where they said you were stuck in your driveway, blah, blah, blah. You have people like Kendrick Perkins coming on television, doing this, doing that. And the thing is, folks, is that, the thing is, folks, is that when you look at DeAndre Ayton, I think that a couple of teams he could be good on. You look at the Golden State Warriors, look at the Los Angeles Lakers. I think that DeAndre, and here's the thing, the Portland Trail Blazers are buying him out at $35 million. I think that somehow, some way, and I know the Knicks already have Robinson. I know they got Karl Anthony Towns, blah, blah, blah. This could be a situation if you're the Knicks. You could possibly trade Karl Anthony Towns in this situation, right? Hear me out if you're the Knicks. You trade Karl Anthony Towns, okay? Trade Karl Anthony Towns, maybe get back some wing players, maybe get back some three-point shooting. After you get that three-point shooting, guess what you can do? You can free up some money and go out and get a DeAndre Ayton. Is DeAndre Ayton going to set the world on fire? No. Is DeAndre Ayton one of those players that you get overexcited about? DeAndre Ayton? No. But he plays decent defense. Okay, he can score, and he's an athletic big, and that's why I had mentioned the Lakers, because I saw one person say this morning about Brook Lopez. Well, here's the problem with Brook Lopez, and we'll get to him in a second. Brook Lopez is not an athletic big. Luka Doncic likes athletic bigs. And most athletic bigs in today's game, like look at that. You look at Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns. He's athletic. He's not overly athletic, but he's athletic. He plays well for a player like that. So I think that would be a good addition for one of those teams, especially with the DeAndre Ayton. Dorian Finney-Smith. Now, even though he averaged only eight points per game, almost 9 assists per game, 1.4, he is a big part of the defense for the Los Angeles Lakers. Losing him will be big. I don't think he's going back to the Lakers, so that's just how I look at that. We'll skip Malik Beasley because all the allegations going on against him right now. Ty Jerome for the Cavaliers. This is a player I like. He's a shooting guard, 12 and a half points per game, 3 assists per almost three assists per game. And I think that he is one of those guys that can be a shooter. He can be a creator, as we're saying here on CBS Sports. When you're looking at the market, I see him with a contender. I don't see him going to just a Charlotte or somewhere like that and having success. No, I don't see him going to Washington. Well, no, let me take that back. He could go to Washington and have some success. But I see him going to more contender. Ty Jerome is the type of player that needs to go to a contender he can come off the bench. He can start a few games if he need to. A lot of things he can do. So I'm a fan of his. I like his game, but he needs to be with a contender, and that's bottom line. Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez is your traditional center, and he likes to shoot threes. I could definitely see Brook Lopez with the Houston Rockets, maybe a Sacramento Kings, maybe a San Antonio Spurs. If the Knicks want to take a chance and if they want to have that backup big, they could bring him in. He can shoot some threes, etc. But Brook Lopez is one of those guys where he can still play in the league and he's still respectable. Al Horford, still a very respected player in the National Basketball Association. I definitely see him with the San Antonio Spurs. I think he'd be great for the Spurs. Let me see. What are some other teams? If you guys have some suggestions, even back in Philadelphia, he went back to Philadelphia. I mean, I think that him playing in Philadelphia wouldn't be a bad thing. Maybe a Toronto, something like that. So going down some of the other free agents, not some well-known guys, not too well-known, but those are like the top guys right there. Now, one guy that I'm looking at, number 16 on the list that I really like is Cam Thomas. A gifted scorer who can flat out fill it up, average 24 points per game on a relatively insufficient shooting marks. You're not going to build a contender around him, but for the pure buckets, he is one of the best in the league. So what they're saying is that you're not going to be able to build around Cam Thomas. Basically, Cam Thomas is not going to take you to an NBA championship. What Cam Thomas can do, and not saying he's going to become Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. What I'm saying is that he can be one of those guys that you can bring in, build to. Because let's be honest, yes, Shai helped carry this team to the finals. But when you had all those elements, all those good players in Oklahoma City, that's what you need. That's what Cam Thomas is. He's the type of guy that can come into a situation that can really help elevate your team, but you have to have pieces around him. It's not going to be like LeBron where he's going to be doing this and doing that and taking teams, or Michael, things like that, even though he has that comparison of Michael as a shooting guard with being able to shoot the ball the way he does, for the mid-range, etc. So the way I'm looking at this, folks, is this. If you are Cam Thomas, look at some of the situations around the league. I'm going to say it again. Maybe the San Antonio Spurs. Looking at the East, I wouldn't mind maybe seeing him in Indiana, things like that. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. Cam Thomas would not be a bad piece for the Milwaukee Bucks. We're talking about a team that's trying to keep Giannis Antetokounmpo. They want Giannis to stay with them. So how do you do that? How if you're the Milwaukee Bucks, how do you make your team better and try to keep Giannis? Cam Thomas. Again, I don't know what their total space is right now. They've signed some players, so it's going to be a little bit difficult. But there are players out there. Even like a Russell Westbrook. And everybody knows I'm not the biggest Russell Westbrook guy, but Russell Westbrook can come off your bench. Russell Westbrook has no business being in your starting five. He has no business doing anything where he is, your go-to player. But off the bench as an energizer, Yes, definitely. I could definitely see him going to Houston. That would not be a bad thing at all. Clint Capella, another intriguing name. I could see him going somewhere again. Does he need to start? No, he doesn't. But he can come off your bench, do some great things. D'Angelo Russell has already been signed. He's been signed by the Dallas Mavericks. I think that is a huge move. Huge move. I am big. Listen, the Dallas Mavericks right now, Kyrie is not going to be there for the first half of the season. And you're going to have Cooper Flag. You're going to have Anthony Davis. You're going to have these big-time players on your team. The Dallas Mavericks, not this year, but I can almost guarantee next year, if they keep this core together, bring in some decent pieces, the Dallas Mavericks are definitely a threat to go to the NBA Finals. Everybody criticized Nico for his position and what he did with Luka Doncic. It's looking better and better every day because let's be completely honest here, everybody. If Luka Doncic cannot get his butt into shape, if he continues to not take defense seriously, over the time, will the Lakers actually win championships? I don't care how good you are offensively. I don't care, if people like you. Can you produce and win championships? That is the most important thing here, folks. Can you produce? Can you win championships? And right now, Luka has shown us that he does not have that ability to do that with his ability to not play defense. So I've seen the videos. He's slimming down, things like that. I want to see that more from Luka coming into the 25-26 season. I want to see that from Luka because I think that is critically important if the Lakers want to win championships. But the Mavericks, I think the Mavericks road right now is beautiful. I like the whole trajectory that the Dallas Mavericks are going on right now. It is absolutely something to behold that they give up a player like Luka Doncic and then you bring in Anthony Davis. You have these other pieces. And again, is D'Angelo Russell going to set the world on fire? No, but he can shoot the three. He has played with Anthony Davis. We've seen this movie before. So, and people hate to say it, but here's the bottom line, folks. Anthony Davis has something that Luka Doncic does not have, and that is an NBA championship. Yes, LeBron James was involved, but also Anthony Davis was a big part of why that Lakers team won that championship. So if you are Luka, you want to follow suit, and you want to get it done just like he did. So let's go to our next topic. We're going to stay on the basketball. Let's talk about the WNBA, man. Let's talk about the WNBA. Let's talk about what we saw yesterday. So yesterday, big day, Candace Parker, one of the all-time great players in league history, got her number retired. Yes, Candace Parker, who won championships in Los Angeles and in Chicago. Now, we talked about yesterday. Let's go back to yesterday. Let's talk about the proceedings. Before we get to the Sky game, we're going to talk about some of the other games that were played yesterday in the women's National Basketball Association. Now, let's go to the Liberty and the Atlanta Dream. Folks, it's getting real. It's okay. It's getting real. And what I mean by it is the New York Liberty started out the season, 9-0? They're now 11-5 on the season. They, in the last 10 games, they're 5-5. They're 5-5 in the last 10 games. They're struggling right now. I personally told a Liberty fan yesterday that, look, I posted on Facebook that I just think they're bored the regular season. They're still the first in the East. They're 5-5 in the last 10 games. They're still first in the East. But here come the Atlanta Dream. The Atlanta Dream, who brought in Brittany Griner in the offseason. Has she been the complete focal point of the team? Some games she has, other games she hasn't. But when you have a game where Ryan Howard only scores what? 5 points in 23 minutes, and you still beat the defending champions by 9? That's scary. Let's be completely honest. That's a little bit scary. And Alicia Gray, she's 30 now. She's out of South Carolina. That South Carolina tree with Dawn Staley and all that good stuff. I think Staley was the coach when she was there, but she had 20 points yesterday, 9 rebounds and 6 assists. That's pretty big against a Liberty team who we believe is the favorite to win the championship again. When you got Breanna Stewart, you got Ionescu, when you got players like that. So it's going to be more competitive when you talk about that Eastern Conference and you're talking about trying to win that championship, because the Atlanta Dream are coming and they are here and they're here to stay. So we're talking about teams that we have to look out for. Now, I don't want to disrespect anybody out there in Phoenix. I really don't. But we got to talk about the Phoenix Mercury. If you are a true WNBA fan, when you watch the Phoenix Mercury, do you truly believe in them? Do you truly believe that the Phoenix Mercury can go into the playoffs? Right now, they're second in the West. The Aces are fifth in the West. They're 8 8 on the season, while the Phoenix Mercury are 12-5. The Las Vegas Aces defeated them yesterday, 84-81. Asia Wilson clutch play with about 23 seconds ago, hits the mid range, the little spin mid range, and then they get a free throw, win the game by 3. When you look at the Phoenix Mercury, how much do the Phoenix Mercury do you really believe in? Is it a team that you look at and say, damn, that I really truly believe in the Phoenix Mercury? I don't. And I don't know how anybody else can look at them and say, in a playoff series, let's say they get into the playoffs and they got to play the Aces in the first round. Do you think anybody's going to pick against the Aces? I don't. Because they're just one of those teams that you feel like they're a come-up team, and they just don't have much going for them. And one of those teams, they don't have much going for them as far as experience, as far as thinking that they're going to take down a major team. I just don't see it. I still think it's a league where it's the Aces, where it's the Liberty, and it's the Lynx. Speaking of the Lynx, yesterday, 102-63 over the how the mighty have fallen. The Connecticut Sun are 2-15 after making all the trades in the offseason, after getting rid of everybody in the offseason. They are 2-15 on the season. A team that went from being just an absolute terror, being a team that everybody feared, that everybody had to contend with, a team that got to the finals every other couple of years and didn't win it, but had a good opportunity to win it. 102-63. That's just sad. The Minnesota Lynx continue to show and improve, continue to show us why they are one of the best teams in the Women's National Basketball Association. And right now, Napisa Collier has to be your favorite. She has to be one of your favorites for MVP. How could she not? How could she not be one of your favorites? Her season high all season was what? I think it was 34 against Dallas. Is either against Connecticut before. She scored 33. She had 32 in June 14th against the Los Angeles Sparks. She's been balling all year, folks. She's been balling all year. And the Minnesota Lynx are just that. They're that team. They're that team you're going to have to deal with. You're going to have to contend with. It wouldn't surprise me to see them back in the finals. They're that good. They are just that good. So, yeah, that's the WNBA talk now. Let's get to what happened yesterday during Candace Parker's championship, not her championship, but her ring ceremony. This player right here, her name is Angel Reese, probably much more maligned players in the Women's National Basketball Association. She gets talked about by her me-bounds and this and blah, blah, blah. Well, yesterday, Angel Reese made a statement. 24 points, 16 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks, only 4 turnovers, and 10 of 19 from the field. And she went 4-4 from the free throw line. The biggest thing I saw yesterday when I look at this, and first, let me say this about the Los Angeles Sparks. They got to get healthy. They got some players that are down. Of course, they have players that, like Brink and Russ and Burrell and Fagan, who are Fagan didn't play his coach decision, but you have Burrell, Brink, who are out. Brink still recovering from that ACL injury from last year, so hopefully she will be back. Either maybe later this season, probably not this season, but next season. Let me say this about the Los Angeles Sparks. Kelsey Plum wanted out of Los Angeles. Well, here you go. Here you go. You are now on a team in the Los Angeles Sparks, who traditionally is one of the great franchises in the WNBA history. You're now 5-12 on the season. You're 6th in the West. It's just not coming together. And they have some of the pieces, folks. They definitely have some of the pieces. It is just not coming together. But to the Sparks, Cardoso didn't play yesterday because of injury. I particularly like how the Chicago Sky look without Cardoso in this sense. They space the floor more, able to get more three-point shots. Angel Reese did a great job yesterday getting rebounds, putting things back, driving to the basket, Getting to the free throw line, like I said before, going 4 for 4 from the free throw line, scoring 24 points, 16 rebounds. But I was particularly impressed with her with the assist, because her assists yesterday were very good. She was able to get to the players, not only cutting to the basket, but also the 3-point shooting. Very, very impressed by that. Atkins yesterday played a pivotal role. Ariel Atkins, who is a veteran in this league. She's even though she's a veteran, she's only 28 years old. She played a huge piece in that game yesterday. Also, you look at Kia Nurse, scored 14 points in the game for them. Just a good team effort. Not saying to trade Cardoso, not saying that at all. Just saying that if you're going to have her and Reese on the floor, they got to learn how to space the floor more, do things like that, so they're able to get better things, get better rhythm on the floor. That's the biggest thing with the Sky right now is rhythm, because Cardoso can score. Cardoso can score 30 if she needs to. They just have to make sure that they're getting her the ball, and then, like I said, again, they're spacing the floor. So Cardoso's she's a damn good player. Let's not get that misconstrued. But if they were to trade her, they would get a lot back for her because she is a valuable piece. So that is one thing in their back pocket the Chicago Sky do have, and it can help them get back to relevance really quickly. So now we're about to bring the heat to you guys, man. We are about to bring the heat to you guys. About to bring the heat, baby. We're getting ready to talk about some baseball. And let me tell you something. It's going down in Major League Baseball right now, man. It is going down in Major League Baseball right now. Check this out. Tarek Skubal, who plays for the Detroit Tigers, 10-0, a 1.74 ERA, 128 strikeouts with 10 walks. Do you understand how great that is? Do you know what the historical pace he is on right now? That is something that you do not see all the time from a pitcher. And I'm telling you now, the Detroit Tigers are one of those teams. Going back to last year, I said it last year, and I'm telling you, it bothers me because I thought that the Pittsburgh Pirates were gonna build around Skeen, and I thought they were gonna do some good things. It'd be now here would be the funny thing. What if Skeen got traded to the Detroit Tigers one of these days? That would be crazy, right? Because they already have a really good pitching staff. It's not gonna happen, but I'm just saying, wouldn't it be crazy if you had somebody that talented on that roster? So, before I get to the MLB, I forgot to do one thing. So this right here, ladies and gentlemen, before I get to the MLB, it was announced this morning that we're going to get expansion. Cleveland, Detroit, and Philadelphia in the WNBA. You already had the Cleveland Rockers. You already had the Detroit Shock. Now we're going to have Philadelphia. I said I was going to give you guys a name. I thought they were bringing Philadelphia. My next show, I will give you a set list of names of who I think they will have as a name. They'll have as a name for the Philadelphia organization coming in 2030, which is 4.5 years from now. Now, let's go to the MLB. Let's talk some numbers. Let's talk about some leaders. Now, Aaron Judge, batting average leader, 356. Hits, Aaron Judge with 110. Home runs, my guy, Kyle Riley from the Seattle Mariners with 32 home runs. Aaron Judge is 2 behind him with 30. Runs batted in, 69. Kyle Riley, 69. Who's behind him? Aaron Judge with 67. Runs scored, Aaron Judge, my God, 73. Kyle Riley right behind him with 59. Stolen bases, Cabrera from let me make sure I get his name right. Yeah, Jose Cabrera from the Tampa Bay Rays. The Rays are playing really good baseball right now, by the way. Earned runs average. Let's see who we got here. We got Hunter Brown with 150. Was it 175 earned runs average? Let's see who else we got here. Scoble is also on that list with 215. Pitcher strikeouts. Scoble leads the MLB with 138 pitcher strikeouts. He leads the next best pitcher by 3. Wins, Max Fried with 10. Also, Scoble also has 10. Max Fried and Scoble are really playing good baseball. You also have Carlos Rondon, who is 3rd with 9. And then you have the Tigers, who have Casey Miz with 8 wins as well. And in between that, you have Frambo Valdez with 7. No, he has 9. So the leading wins leader right now in Major League Baseball, your leaders, the AL leaders, are Max Fried, Scoble, Rodon, Valdez, and Miz. Saves leader Hader from the Houston Astros with 23, and that's how that rounds out. Now that is the AL. Let's see if we can go to the NL. Now on the NL side of things, Will Smith leads with 318 batting average. Hits. Trey Turner should have kept him with the Washington with Washington, but they didn't. So didn't keep him with Washington, but so he's over there in Philadelphia, killing it right now, basically. But hey, Washington got their championship. That's all they wanted. So shout out to Washington. Trey Turner with 100 hits on the season. Ohtani is 6 behind him with 94 home runs. Ohtani with 29. The next close person is Suarez with 25 runs batted in. Suzuki, we have here Suzuki with he's 30. Man, that's crazy. Suzuki with 69 runs batted in. Ohtani with 82. The next closest is De La Cruz with 66 stolen bases. Cruz from the Pittsburgh Pirates with 27. Earned run average, Paul Skeens, 212. Pitcher strikeouts, Gore from Washington with 129. And wins, looks like we have Robbie Ray with 8 wins, and then we have 4 other players tied who have 8 wins apiece as well. Saves leader Suarez, 23 from the San Diego Padres. So that's how that rounds out. Now, let's go to the leaders of Major League Baseball and tell you who's winning, who runs their divisions, and who doesn't. Of course, the Yankees lead the AL East with a 1.5 game lead only over the Tampa Bay Rays, who will continue to be very impressive. And 3 games back are the Blue Jays. Detroit Tigers lead their division by 11.5 freaking games. I'm telling y'all, if you're the Yankees, you can't catch a break. First is the Astros, then you got to deal with the Dodgers in the World Series. Now you got to deal with the Detroit Tigers becoming great again, like we know they could be. So you're the Yankees. It ain't gonna be easy getting to the championship again. You got the Astros, who now hold a 6.5 game lead over the Seattle Mariners, 8.5 over the Anaheim Angels. And where the hell have the Texas Rangers been since they won that championship? They have been down. Woo! Philadelphia Phillies lead the New York Mets by 1.5 games. They lead the Braves by 10.5. The Braves, as I said in my last show, like I think 2 shows ago, they ain't catching them, folks. They ain't catching them. Just get over that. They ain't catching them. Chicago Cubs lead the Milwaukee Brewers by 2 games, the Cardinals by 2.5, and the Cincinnati Reds by 5 games. Watch out. I keep saying every year, watch out for the Cincinnati Reds. Potentially, they're going to get better. Potentially. The Los Angeles Dodgers have put a wide gap between themselves and the next competition, the San Diego Padres. They lead the Padres by 7 games. They lead the Giants by 7.5. Again, I don't think any of those teams are going to be catching the Los Angeles Dodgers. So if you want a wild card spot, you're going to have to get that wild card. Let's check out the wild cards before we get to our next topic. Right now, the 3 wild cards leading the NL are the Mets, Brewers, and Cardinals. The Padres are a game back. The Giants are half a game back. 1.5 games back. The Reds are 2.5 games back, and the Diamondbacks are 5 back. The Braves are 8 back, and the Marlins are 8.5 back, which is just strange because the Marlins have stunk all year. You'd think they'd be like 13, 14, 15 games back. Let's look at the AL. Who leads in the AL? Right now, you have the Rays, the Blue Jays, and the Mariners. The Red Sox were in that position, but now they're 3 games back. They are starting to really suffer out there. So we'll see if the Red Sox can gain some momentum back. The Angels are 2 back. The Texas Rangers are 2.5 back. The Guardians are 2.5 back. And again, the Red Sox are 3 games back. The Orioles are 7 games back. Do we see them making a move? I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll definitely have to see if the Baltimore Orioles can make a move. They're 7 games back. I don't think so at this point. So we'll just see how it goes, and we'll see if they can make any big moves going into the All-Star break. If not, then it'll be next year. So we'll see how that goes. Now, going to the NFL. Did you guys see what happened this morning? Did you guys see what happened this morning? So we all know that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going all in this offseason. We all know that the Pittsburgh Steelers believe that Russell Wilson was not the key for them to get back to a championship. So they brought in Aaron Rodgers. They brought him in late. Aaron Rodgers made the decision to come in and play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Great. So this morning it was reported that the Pittsburgh Steelers are trading all-pro safety Minkah Fitzpatrick back to the Miami Dolphins. But he didn't come along, but it just wasn't for anything. Not only did the Pittsburgh Steelers get back Jalen Ramsey, who they can use as maybe a third corner, maybe even play him as safety, but they also got Jonnu Smith, a tight end last year who had 88 catches. Who had 88 catches, more than Travis Kelce, more than a lot of your favorite tight ends in the National Football League. Let me bring the stats up here, as I had actually brought them up earlier. So, Jonnu Smith had a career high last year, 88 catches for 884 yards and 8 touchdowns. Previously, his most catches in 1 year came in 2023 with the Atlanta Falcons, when he had 50 for 582 and 3 touchdowns. His lowest production came in 2017 as a rookie with the Tennessee Titans, 18 catches, 157, 2 touchdowns. Mostly his time in Tennessee from 2017 to 2020, Smith did not catch over 50 passes. In fact, he caught 41 in 2020 with Tennessee, which was his career high. His years in New England, he was there for 2 years, from 2021 2022, but you can't really blame him. The quarterback play wasn't that great. He had a combined, 55 yards, 55 receptions, just over 500, 539 yards and 1 touchdown. So that means that and then he went back to the land in 2023, had 50 catches, of course, 3 touchdowns. That means that last year with the Miami Dolphins, 88 catches, almost 100 catches as a tight end, 884 yards, 8 touchdowns. You have to ask yourself this simple question, folks. Ask yourself this simple question. Are we going to get Jonnu Smith from last year in Miami with Aaron Rodgers? Because Aaron Rodgers likes to pick favorites, but we also know Aaron Rodgers likes tight ends. They already have Freiermuth there. Is he going to favor Freiermuth over Jonnu Smith? We don't know. We'll have to see how that works. The question is, will he be his Miami form, or will he go back to his New England form where he didn't catch anything? They have a quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, who, for all we want to say, was top 10 in passing yards, top 10 in quarterback passing touchdowns last year. So they have a decent guy at quarterback position. You can't say that. They have a decent player at the quarterback position in Aaron Rodgers. Now, you give up Minkah Fitzpatrick, who was a locker room leader, who held players accountable, who did a lot of good things for that Pittsburgh organization. You lose that. You bring in Jalen Ramsey. You don't know Jalen Ramsey, what he's going to do at this point in his career. If you have an injury at corner, is he going to go there? Is he going to do some good things? Can he be your nickel cornerback? Is he comfortable playing as safety? Do they have different packages where they can use your Jalen Ramsey? We'll have to see all that, folks. But for right now, just looking at this trade from my perspective, you have to say the Dolphins won it in a sense. Because we don't know what the Steelers are going to look like. Getting that big defensive player, that defensive piece back. The Dolphins' defense was pretty good last year. It's decent. And you're going to get back that piece now where you can now have that anchor, that captain on your defense, along with some of the young players they have, etc. I think that is very important. But again, we don't know what the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to look like. So if we don't know what the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to look like, then we need to see it firsthand. We need to see it. We need to see it in the preseason. We need to see it in the games. Because we know what Minkah Fitzpatrick is going to be. But we don't know how Aaron Rodgers is going to look with these players. Yes, you have DK Metcalf. Yes, you have Jonnu Smith now. Freiermuth. You have decent receivers. And that defense is still going to be good. But we need to see how it looks. And that's just the bottom line. Not saying that it's not going to work in Pittsburgh. But we got to see how it looks first. If we can see how it looks first, and we can see that Aaron Rodgers can come to Pittsburgh, give up, because he's not going to be able to do some of the same things he's done in the past. Pittsburgh is not going to allow that. Pittsburgh is a different beast. Pittsburgh is a different animal when it comes to their football players. They do things differently. So if he doesn't do things differently in Pittsburgh, then guess what? It's not going to work. So that's just how that goes when it comes to Aaron Rodgers and when it comes to the situation in Pittsburgh. Now, let's go to one of the segments that a lot of people like here on the Rob Johnson Sports Show.
I need you to shut the hell up for the immediate future.
I need ESPN to shut the hell up about talking about LeBron James every 5 seconds. Talking about the Lakers every 5 seconds. Why not talk about the Indiana Pacers? Why not talk about other teams? We got it. Stop talking about LeBron James so damn much. I'm a LeBron fan, but you don't see me talking about him every 5 minutes. You don't see me talking about the Cowboys every 5 minutes. Get some more topics. Get some more topics. All right, so tell the world how I feel. Today, it's not more of tell the world how I feel. It's more about me talking about how yesterday, it was just great. It was just great. Like some of the best golf I've watched in a long time. You had Aldrich, pot-getter from South Africa, becoming the youngest South African to ever win a Rocket Challenge, a Rocket Classic Challenge. In 5 playoff holes, he finally won it. If you haven't seen it, make sure you go back and you Google it. Make sure you go back and YouTube it from the Rocket Classic yesterday. Just a great couple of hours of golf. I went from the WNBA game to watching the Rocket Classic. Just great golf on a Sunday afternoon. You can't beat it. Golf is still one of those great sports, even if Tiger Woods not being there. We are starting Wimbledon today. Wimbledon is starting today, ladies and gentlemen. We are on the road to the end of the Grand Slam. Next, you're going to have the U.S. Open. That's going to be in Flushing Meadows, New York. I'll give you my favorites next time that I come on with you all. I know this tournament's already started, but I'll give you my favorites. Of course, I'm always going to be cheering for Coco Gauff, and I'm cheering for some of the other players that are going to be on there from the American side. Soccer update: the Gold Cup. The United States actually, I believe they tied Costa Rica last night, and it was penalty kicks. And America is going to move on, and they're one step away from basically going to have to play. In the penalty kicks, it was 2-2 regulation, and they won the penalty kicks. It was 4-3. So Guatemala actually beat Canada. So America will go against Guatemala next. After that, there's a real possibility where I'm not sitting here saying that it's going to happen. I'm not saying that it is a foregone conclusion, but there's a good chance that America will be playing against Mexico in the Gold Cup. And I'm telling you right now, American soccer has continued to get better and better over the years. Yes, American soccer. And I actually have the let me see. I have the finals right here. Let's see here if I can get this up. Let me see. I'm trying to give you guys the dates of when America will play. So July the 2nd in St. Louis, Missouri, America will be playing Guatemala. If they beat Guatemala, and then on that same day, Mexico plays Honduras. So America's game is at 7 p.m. and the Mexico against Honduras is at 10 p.m. on July 2nd. Now, NRG Stadium, Houston, Texas. Oh, that's going to be. You got Houston, Texas. Mexico is right there, basically. You got America against Mexico on July the 6th at NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. Do you understand just how big that's going to be if America plays Mexico in Houston for the Gold Cup? Man, you talk about Gold TV. No pun intended. I cannot wait to see it. Soccer gods, football gods, give us America, give us Mexico in the championship for the Gold Cup. I can't wait. I'll see y'all next time for episode 97 of Rob John Sports Show. And I'll see you all later tonight for Gold Standard Wrestling, immediately following Monday Night Raw. I'll see you guys tonight about 11:15 for Gold Standard Wrestling. But make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And again, go America. Go win your next match against, let me make sure I have it right, against Guatemala. Beat Guatemala. And then either you're going to have to beat Honduras or Mexico for the Gold Cup. Let's go America. Let's go USA. See y'all next time.
caught in the crossfire.